Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi with another video. The last video I did, I mentioned I've been seeing a lot of people run the Eclipse protocol with Jammer. I'm not the first person to invent that. That's just a build that's always been out there. I was running with someone that was running the Eclipse protocol with the vial, and maybe I was a hater in the video, and I was like, I don't play that anymore. But I told you I'd do a video on it, and while it was fresh in my mind, I went to the summit, and on the right of the screen I did Eclipse. That was the first 3 floors I did, and on the next 3 floors I did my build, which is mainly yellows, and I ran them against each other. The fundamental differences are, you can see that I'm doing about 70k damage per person. There's 10 ticks, so I'm doing 700k damage per person. And I think on the right I'm doing like 50k. So there's a 20k difference in damage. So that's like 500k to 700k. And the time on the right's like 19 seconds, and the time on the left's like 12.3 seconds. I eventually put the launcher, I guess it's the launcher to put on it's like the pulse launcher on both of them. So I kind of do the same thing. And one of the key things in Eclipse protocol, it does more status effect damage. Obviously you can see it's doing 70 there, and it has a mechanic where when you kill someone, it spreads the disease to the next person. And I think I got it to proc once with the drone. So it kind of, there's like a wave. I'm not doing anything, and it just, so sometimes it just putting the damage out there. So, and I'm not sure if when I did that build, the build I saw was they had a chest piece and the backpack. And again, you know, I don't like to run like that. I like to run with like the vial and a creeping death. And my creeping death is the one that has 15% explosive damage, because vial scales kind of on explosive concussion grenade damage. So I'm trying to maximize that. I have to admit they were both very similar, but I didn't have the pulse available as much. And the pulse kind of has a little bit of disorient for a second. And when you're on legendaries, when you're facing Black Tusk, it's just killing all that technology. So while you're doing more damage with the Eclipse protocol, because it's got built-in more status effect, it's not as fast. So you're gonna have to do the calculation, and I'm gonna eventually do the calculation. Is it faster to get, you know, if I'm doing it every 12 seconds, if I get 5 a minute versus 3 a minute, how much DPS is that, etc., etc., etc. So that's one thing that I still gotta do. The other thing that I realized halfway through here, in this discrepancy, you can see the damage. Oh, I can't see the damage. Let me call someone again. The damage is 54,000. And the damage is 75 over there. Does more damage because I'm technician to technical pieces. But what I began to think about is my build on the left, the yellow build, has a couple of, I'm building it for the fastest refresh, fastest recharge time. So I'm using a couple improvised pieces of gear. I used to have an improvised holster, but that Picaro's holster, its first attribute you get with one piece is skill haste, and then I rolled it with skill haste, and it has 15% weapon damage. That piece is pretty powerful in the build like this. Additionally, on every other piece in my build except for the vial, I'm having like close to 5k regen. So I have some survivability. Now also, I've got that armor rolled to 16% expertise. I don't have this armor all rolled to that. But the other build's a little more survivable. So halfway into this, I was like, I wonder what would happen if I unrolled the, or if I rolled pieces that were haste and status effect. And maybe for my chest piece, maybe if I did a Golan, like if I got a chest piece Golan that had momentum on it and status effects and recharge, and it has a default status effect of 10%, I could really maximize that. I use a Wyvern because Wyvern gives you 10% skill damage. And I might have some pieces that are skill damage. Because in reality, what I think is I'm going to go back even further. Long time ago, you know, when you're doing an MMO, at the first MMO I did, I rolled everything. I'm going to be a jack of all trades. And so as everyone knows, in these games, they're designed to be min-max. That is, you maximize all your talents and you might have minimal defense. So I never really wanted to do that. I realized as I played more and more games, you had to do that more. So I like skills, like life stealing skills or skills. That's why I'm in love with the Ridgeway, because I'm getting some health back by putting on fleet. I'm doing damage and stuff like that. So, what if I rolled these with no survivability and I maximized the skill haste and the status effects to do the most damage the fastest? So let's say, you know, I'm getting 5 pulses off, and let's say I could do 100k damage. I got to figure out and do the math. But what if I maximize my build for no survivability? Now, what my feeling is, if I ran into legendary, I'm going to get smoked. So I'm going to have to test that. But I'm expertise level 20 now. I'm doing more videos, and so that's an interesting thing. I have time to kind of do that and roll the pieces, and I have materials to do all that. So that's what I'd like to do. So at this point, I'm going to say inconclusive. Maybe I'm being a hater for that. I don't do a ton of build videos because as I talked to someone in the comments, and someone in the comments said the same thing to me, they only use a couple builds anyways. It's interesting to see what people are doing that's different, but seldom do I get in a group and am I envious of what someone's doing. I'm not a weapon DPS person, so when someone's, if that's their play style, I appreciate them. They're great in a group, and hopefully I'm bringing something in their group. They don't want to do support kind of things. That's awesome. There's room for all of us. So that's one of those overarching things. I also want to apologize to all the Spanish speakers. I apologize. I'm going to try to figure out how I can get this closed caption in Spanish for you, because there's a lot of people. A person commented today and they gave me a lot of good information about the last video I did. And I just realized there's a whole group of people that if the technology's there for it to close caption what I'm saying in Spanish or close, I'd like to do that for them. So I apologize to you folks out there. I appreciate everyone that gives me comments. There's a lot of good ideas. I'm hovering right around 200. I can't break through 200 subscribers. I will eventually, but I want to put this video out. So what's the payoff here? I prefer having the skills back faster, because if I'm using something like Seekers, they just come back in less than 20 seconds in my build. On the Eclipse build, you're doing more damage. Depending on what pieces you have in there, you could be doing more damage with your weapon. So you could build a hybrid kinda where you're doing weapon damage. But again, that's that cheating this min-max thing. If you min-max and you just went all status, then there you go. I like to think about what I'm doing in Legendary. I know I have to have some survivability. I've rolled that 16% expertise on my skill pieces so I get over this threshold so I don't get one shot, and then I have some recovery where I don't have to waste a med pack. I can just get back up. So maybe during this time I'm going to try to build an ultimate build. I'll try to really max it out and do everything I can to make it, you know, maximum damage and fastest. So in any case, I'm here in the summit doing this. I think that's a great place to test, so I apologize I'm not doing the exact same thing. When I thought about it, this would be hard to do on a control point. It's not hard to do on a control point, but the point really I want to get through is doing the same level of content, you know, heroic versus I don't have to do the exact same thing, because either one of these are viable. I don't hate Eclipse. It's what I loved for a long time. For a long time I ran Eclipse, and I just thought I have a better mousetrap. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And it's just one possibility. I learned a long time ago dealing with folks from different parts of the world that sometimes we tend to speak more in absolutes. Not that we mean it in absolutes, it's the way we talk, but really it's more possibilities. This is one possible solution to having a build. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you have a great, for us here in the US, it's a holiday. I hope everyone else is safe, enjoying the World Cup. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.